Watch us transform our living room. We turned this plain, cluttered room into a paradise with custom built-ins using IKEA Billy bookcases, new floors, lighting, trim work, and a lot of sawdust. And no, we did not hire this out. In this video, I'm walking you through the entire project start to finish. Demo, flooring, building the base, installing Billy bookcases, wiring, trim, paint, all of it. I'll share what worked, what I'd do differently, and a few small tips that made a big difference. If you want product details, paint colors, lighting, flooring, and tools, all the links are in the description. Demo. Carpet. Trim and crown. First, demo. We ripped out the carpet, pulled the baseboards, and removed the crown molding because we wanted to strip it and stain it back to its original wood tone. This is the stage where your house looks worse before it looks better. If you're reusing trim, label where each piece came from. Future you will be thankful. I just wrote the direction it was placed and whether it was left or right, so there was no guesswork. Painting the walls. First, before anything else went in, we painted the walls. We used Clark and Kensington Gettysburg gray from our local Ace Hardware. Way easier to paint now than trying to cut around built-ins later. Don't stress about getting perfect lines near the floor, the ceiling, or behind the bookcase, since you will be covering those with trim and shelving. Flooring install. Next was flooring. We installed SMARTCORE Naturals Boulder Creek Hickory, hand-scraped engineered hardwood. We got a really good deal from Marketplace on this flooring and we love it, but unfortunately I don't think they make it any longer. The flooring is really neat though. It has a thin layer of real hardwood on top and underneath is a waterproof composite core, and the install was relatively simple. We chose to run flooring wall to wall before the bookcases for a cleaner, built-in look, and just in case one day we have to sell the house and the next person hates having bookcases on the wall. As soon as the floors are down, cover them. Cardboard, drop cloth, anything, because the rest of this project gets messy fast. Building the base. 2x4 platform. To make the Billy bookcases look like real built-ins, we built a base platform out of 2x4s. This lifts everything up and gives space for trim and baseboards later. We anchored the base to the studs and made sure it was perfectly level. Take your time here. If the base isn't level, every shelf and trim piece above it will fight you. Setting and securing the Billy bookcases. Once the base was in, we set the IKEA Billy bookcases on top, clamped them together, and secured them to each other and into the wall studs. I put a 12-foot 2x4 behind them against the wall and secured it to the studs. Then I secured the bookcases to the 2x4. Clamp first, screw second. Keeps everything lined up and tight. You want to make this as dimensionally perfect as possible if you're going to add arches, because having one part off will be very noticeable once you start installing them. Running the wiring. Before closing anything in, we ran wiring for the lights and outlet. The lights are from Amazon and they're controlled by a Lutron dimmer that works with Alexa, which might be my favorite feature. Make sure all electrical connections are inside accessible boxes and follow local code. I had an existing switch on the wall that the original owners had tied into a couple outlets. I switched those outlets to be always hot and stole the wire from the switch and ran new Romex up the wall and through the bookcase and daisy-chained each light to make them all dimmable via the switch by the door. Test everything before trim goes on. Opening things back up because of one loose wire is not a fun time. Shelves and framing. After wiring, we installed the shelves and started building out the framing around the Billy units, so they looked custom instead of flat-pack furniture. Then I added all my vertical framing so I had something to nail the plywood panels to. I tried to keep it simple, so I did 2x4s between each shelf and the sides. I had a 2x4 and a 1x4 on their side, so I didn't have to rip any boards. This is when it finally starts looking like built-ins. Adding plywood and closing gaps. We used 1/2-inch sanded plywood to make the smooth surface along the entire bookcase. The gaps where they meet aren't too important since they will be covered by trim. I saw a lot of videos where people used joint compound on the wood, and I wouldn't recommend it if you are like me and live in a place that gets negative temps in the winter and over 100 degrees in the summer. Trim work. Then came trim. We added vertical and horizontal trim pieces to tie everything into the walls and hide seams, so the Billy bookcases looked fully built in. The horizontal piece up top is 2 sections because it is only sold in 7-foot increments. Then we added plinth blocks to tie the existing crown molding into it. Then we added the vertical moldings with plinth blocks at the bottom so it had a smooth end. My wife found the appliques under each shelf on Amazon. At first, we were going to add them where the lights are, but once we had the lights in, they kind of took over, and she had the brilliant idea of adding them along the bottom, and now I couldn't imagine it without them. Also, I am willing to bet if you do this, you will notice your ceiling is not perfectly level. That is okay. Nobody's really is, since the finishing process of drywall makes sure of that. Remember, caulk is magic. It hides a lot of sins. Paint prep. Before paint, we filled nail holes, caulked seams, sanded everything smooth, and taped off edges. We used 4 sheets of drop cloth and taped them all together to keep the paint off everything. This was a nightmare to do, but it worked. Take your time prepping because ours isn't perfect, and I felt like we took a lot of time getting it ready, so take more time than me. Painter's tape makes a big difference for clean lines. Priming. The Billy bookcases have a laminate film on them that is impossible to paint on unless you sand or prime with this stuff, and who wants to sand for hours? For primer, we used bin 123 Shellac primer. It sticks to everything, and it is very thin and very smelly. This type of primer is required to make an adhesive surface for the paint. We used the PROUCT 360 paint sprayer, and it was amazing. Open windows, use fans. You'll thank me later. Painting the built-ins. The built-in color is Clark and Kensington olive tree. We did multiple coats for a smooth finish. This is the moment it really transforms. Final reveal from carpet and blank walls to this. Chairs are from Wayfair, couch is thrifted, rug is from Lowe's, and the tables are thrifted too. So you don't have to buy everything brand new to make it look good. Lessons learned. Biggest lessons. Level and secure base is essential. Run wiring early. Protect your floors sooner than you think you need to. If this helped, drop a comment and let me know what part you want more details on. Please keep in mind this is my first video and I've never edited one in my life. I kept getting questions about how I did this and wanted to make an easy to find how-to video for those who were asking. And again, all paint colors, lighting, flooring, and tools are linked in the description. Thanks for watching.